Hello, Easy Nation, and welcome to another episode of the Easy Cage Show. I am Darth Easy,
And I'm Rainy Cage.
and this is episode 132 of the Easy Cage Show. Rainy Cage, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great. Another day, another dollar.
All right. Well, at least you get paid that much.
True.
Okay, so as you know, we've been going through the Indiana Jones series. We started this off I think a month or so ago with Raiders of the Lost Ark. Then we ventured into the Temple of Doom, and now we are finishing the trilogy off with Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade because there is only three of them.
Wrong.
There's only three of them. So first off, Reddy Cage, it's been years since you've seen Last Crusade.
At least 10. Probably 15.
Did you remember anything while you were watching it? Or were you like, oh, that's cool. I don't remember that. I don't remember that. Or was it just like, oh, yeah, I remember that. So that's cool.
I mean, there was some stuff. The skeleton, the guy disintegrating before your eyes. I had forgotten about that. It's pretty creepy. But yeah, I mean, I for most part remembered it. I do enjoy this one. This is probably the best of the trilogy.
Yeah.
It's kind of returned to form. You know, Temple of Doom is kind of a weird movie, and this one kind of goes back to the Raiders of the Lost Ark feel for a lot of it. But what this one has that the other one doesn't, it's got really good chemistry between Indiana and his father, played by Sean Connery.
Judah!
Yeah. All their banter, and it's it's good chemistry, and it just feels very real, like he's actually his dad. And it's a good movie. I had a good time. It's got it doesn't have like when you're watching it. I don't remember, like, there's no like iconic, like in Temple of Doom you got that minecart scene, and in the original you have that opening, you know, where he's running from the boulder and stuff. And this one, I mean, there's nothing like real iconic in this one other than that face melty thing. I can't really.
The chase scene from like the tanks and the horses is very iconic in this film. It's being reused multiple times in a lot of other films. So
maybe that's why I don't think of it, because it's been done so many times or something.
I think story-wise, I think Last Crusade is the best story of the three of them. And I think I really like the difficult relationship that Indiana has with his father, and how he never really got along with him, and that he never really paid him any attention. And like that scene whenever he falls off the cliff, and you just see Sean Connery's moment when he's like, I had so much I needed to tell him, and I didn't need long. I just needed 5 minutes, and then they're all just looking over the cliff, and Indiana's just like, "What are y'all looking at?" And then he sees them and then hugs them, but then he's a man and he can't express those feelings.
Yeah, I love that scene when they're sitting at like a coffee house or something, and Indiana's whining about, how bad of a father he's been, and he's like, "Hey, what do you want from me?" Like, he's like, "All right, let's talk." And then he's like, "What do you want to talk about?" Indiana's like, "Well, I can't think of anything right now." This is really funny.
Right. And let's talk about the love interest in this film with
Let
Elsa.
It go.
No, she is blonde though. But I really like. I don't like her as much as I like Ravenwood in Raiders, but I think it's a very interesting. And I like the idea. I like it that she hooks up with both Indiana and the dad, and like whenever she's talking to Indiana, and then you see Andrew Jones is like, "Oh, it was really nice," and then he realizes, "Oh man, she met him." Like, it was just like, I mean, hey, age is just a number.
It's a little weird for Indiana. I would think I would be weirded out by that. Be like, "Oh, and he was right after him too, so it was very close. But yeah,
And the opening scene of this film is also really cool, which is why I always say anybody can play an Indiana Jones, because we saw River Phoenix play him in the beginning of Last Crusade, and that first scene like is awesome. It really kind of makes who we kind of see like the beginnings of him, like why he's scared of snakes, and it was like a cool little fun chase scene, and it goes back to the future where he finally finds that cross where he had lost. It kind of had like that Uncharted kind of feel to it, where
it did.
he was always looking for that ring, which, you know, really, if you think about it, Uncharted is based off of that scene. So that's what makes this scene really cool.
Start to see like some Steven Spielbergisms in this movie, like the way he cuts that opening scene, and when he cuts from the young Indy to the old Indy, something Steven Spielberg does all the time in his
Yeah,
movies. Um, and yeah, it's got an awesome opening. I still like the opening of the first movie
Raiders.
better. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, Raiders is more it's a
Yep.
more iconic opening, but it's still such a cool little thing. It's especially because we already know who Indiana Jones is at this point, and it's just cool to see the backstory of his character. Is what I really like about it.
I'll tell you, like the scene I really like is when it's towards the end. It's really far into the end, and they got the Holy Grail and everything, and Elsa just fell into the hole for it, and then Indy's doing the exact same thing, and then Sean Connery, realizes that he's going to drop him too, and he's like, "Hey," he calls him Indiana, which is cool
Yeah,
because that's I like that scene when he
yeah. I
realizes.
mean, but that's the cool part about that scene is for his entire life. Well, his entire life in Indiana, his dad's been so focused on the Holy Grail. And whenever he's reaching for his son, and he's like, I can get it. I can get the grail. And he says, let it go, son. What the hell is that noise?
Private watch. People are
Okay.
messaging me. I'm an important
Okay.
man.
No, bullshit. Okay. So, but yeah, I
But
love
yeah,
that scene. He just says, let it go. And Elsa dies. And yeah, it's just, that is a very cool scene. Now, the villain of the movie, of course, we also have the Nazis in it, which, you know, great line from Nazis. I hate these guys. And like even the funny moment whenever they go to Berlin to get the book because it's going to help them with the 3 challenges when they actually get to the tomb of the Holy Grail. And whenever he gets the book back, and Hitler looks at him and signs the autograph as an autograph book, it's such a cool little moment
just
too.
thinks he's a fan.
Yeah, and then it's like it's also a very Nazi moment. It always makes you paint, of course, you don't have to paint the Nazis as bad guys because they are bad guys. They're horrible people. But when they're just throwing books into the fire, and you just kind of see even the bad guy, one of the bad characters of Elsa, who's like, "Why the hell am I with these people? They're burning knowledge. I don't want to be a part of this." At a
Yeah.
point, and there also that scene whenever both Indiana and Henry are in the plane, and he shoots the plane, and he said, "Are we hit, Dad?" He said,
Yeah.
"Yeah, they got us, son."
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That
then
was true.
and then there's that cool little moment when he's on the beach and he's like, "Well, I'll just get the birds to go into the plane," and that was a cool moment too.
Yeah,
I
Sean
know,
Connery's great in this movie. And I
yeah,
liked his like kind of goofy role, like when they're running and he's like, I found that it's better to just, sit down and relax for a second. And it's just a chair and the little staircase opens up and he's like, oh, see?
yeah, but also that scene when he's like, "Wait a minute, sir." It's like people are shooting at us. He's like, "It happens to me all the time." So the ending of the film, I think, really caps off the it's a western at the end of the film where they all where we find out Indiana Jones's name, and then he's like Solo, the guy John Rhys Davis who played Gimli in Lord of the Rings, says he's like, why do you keep calling him Junior? He's like Henry Jones Jr. And I rather go by Indiana. And Sean Connery's like, we named the dog Indiana. And then they're all laughing, and then he's just like, and then Indiana's like, I have fond memories of their dogs. And then they just ride off into the sunset, and we never saw the adventures of Indiana Jones ever again. Maybe one day we will see another adventure of Indiana Jones. But we had not seen another story. And if I was going to go a negative of this film, I would say maybe the Brody character is kind of a cartoon. Maybe we didn't really need him in this movie. Like, they could have used him more as in like Raiders of the Lost Ark, where he was only in a few pivotal scenes of the film. But he was kind of a bumbling little idiot at times of the film. I love having him in there, but if I was going to nitpick, that would be one of my nitpicks. But Last Crusade, I love. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's my favorite Indiana Jones film, and if we ever do, which I think we will do, top 10 Steven Spielberg films at the end of the year, this will definitely make my top 10. So yeah, that's my thoughts. That's my final thoughts of Last Crusade. Rainy Cage, you have any final thoughts?
It's a good movie. I think it's probably the best of the quadrology.
Trilogy.
And it's I don't know. It's different, but it's also a lot like the first movie. But it's a good time. It's fun. I like Indiana Jones. It's just not one of the things that I go back and watch a lot. But every decade I can pop them in and watch them, and yeah, good times.
Yeah,
good
like
times.
I said before we did this.
See that right there? You do this? You can see? Oh, I can't put my finger because I'm all up here. There you go.
Let's see. Whoa, what's going on? Can't see. Oh, can't see Rainy Cage right now. Looks like we lost a connection of Rainy Cage.
The audience saw it.
Oh, he's back. Hey, Rainy Cage. I thought we lost you for a second. What's
I'm
going
not
on?
even arguing that it's a good movie because it's not that great. But the fact that you could just ignore it and never watch it, not right, man. Not right.
Okay, so our next movie we are going to start into watching. So the whole point of doing these classic movie reviews is to go back and watch movies that we like or any movies we haven't seen before and just kind of dive into them and have a fun time because it gives us some
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
No,
because you haven't seen it.
Well, I'm not watching it.
I really think we should before we jump into the next.
Nope.
I think you should watch it.
Not doing
I'm gonna watch it.
Okay, go ahead. Do a letterbox review. So I'm not watching. Kingdom Crystal Skulls. I'm just not doing it.
I guess you better just get it going then.
Get what? What? I'm confused. Get what going?
Just keep going.
Okay, so our next trilogy we are doing, which we're not really picking trilogies to do, but it kind of works out that way, I guess. The next movie we are doing is Die Hard. So a classic Christmas film, and I've only seen Die Hard once, so I haven't seen it in probably over 10 years. So I remember a lot of the movie, a lot due to thanks to Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but so I'm looking forward to rewatching Die Hard. It'll be we won't actually have to watch it for 3 weeks, so we won't actually talk about it for a while, but we'll start off our next classic movie series with the Die Hard trilogy. So are you looking forward to watching the Die Hard series again?
I am. I love Die Hard. All of them except for the last one.
Okay. So All right, guys, that ends this episode of the Easy K Show. Next week we'll be talking about movies coming out next month for June. A lot of cool movies coming out, especially In the Heights. It's really the one I'm really most interested in. The Fast and Furious I could care too less about, but Randy Cage will be excited for because he's been because he's been F it. So guys, check us out here every week on Darth Easy's shows YouTube channel to check out the latest episode going on in the Easy Cage world. Check out Randy Cage's blog, Letterbox, where you can read his reviews, and check out some of my reviews. I haven't really done anything lately. I've just been lazy. I've been playing Mass Effect again, and I just haven't got any motivation to watch movies at the moment. So, but I'll get into it eventually. So, guys, until next time, all too easy.